It started with pain in my husband's eye. He said he felt like there was something in his eye. I asked him to put his head back so that I could see in the light, and when I touched his head, he actually grabbed my arm and said it felt like someone was stabbing him, which drove us to the emergency room. They couldn't find anything wrong, and they were sending us home. One of the doctors came by and said, you know, it could be a virus. The pain got worse and worse and worse, so we went to the emergency room of the eye hospital. They looked at him and they said, can you draw a line down the middle of your head, and if you touched one side, is it painful? And if you touched the other side, is it okay? And it was just like a straight line down the middle. And they said it was shingles.
Shingles is a reactivation of chickenpox. After you are infected with chickenpox, the virus lives on in your nerve cells. When the virus reactivates in the nerve cell, it shows up then as a rash in certain patterns, the pattern that the nerve hits the skin.
I had never known anyone had shingles in their eye. He had no rash, there was no fever.
People can sometimes get it just in a certain pattern in their face, or just in a certain pattern in their back. So painful, it's hard to imagine.
So they gave us antiviral medication and sent us home. And his eye got progressively worse. The pressure in his eye was up so high to a point where he was close to losing his eye. And inflammation in the cornea was starting to break down the cornea.
People are at risk for shingles if they've ever had chickenpox, and almost everyone has had chickenpox. When you're older, say over 50, you're at more risk for a reactivation. Also, if you're under stress of any kind.
So since this started, my husband has been through multiple emergency room visits, multiple eye specialists, eye surgeons, and he has been on steroids because it's 4 years now.
Even after the rash fades, you can have ongoing pain. About 20% of people who have shingles have the ongoing pain.
He really doesn't have much vision in that eye, and there's not much hope of getting it back. He can see if it's day or night. He can see if something moves in front of him, but he can't see the big E on the eye chart.
In the US, there are about 1 million cases of shingles each year.
He now holds books right up to his face and squints to one eye and is trying to read. My husband is a professor, so it does impact his work considerably. Most people don't know how much shingles can affect your life.
There is a vaccine that greatly reduces a person's risk of getting shingles. Even if they do get shingles, there's much less likelihood that they'll have severe pain or that they'll have the ongoing pain.
If my husband had been vaccinated before this event, very likely that he wouldn't have gone through this at all.
Check with your provider to see if immunization is right for your family.